Okay, so hello everyone. Please don't focus on the name. It doesn't have anything to do with anything that we're going to talk about. I don't know why we came up with that, to be honest. I think it's just one of the members splashed yogurt in his face and we called it that. So let's leave it to that. So, as you see on the slide, it says first idea. Well, unfortunately, me and my team we weren't able to implement any of the ideas we came up with, but we came up with so many. We've done some research on some, and we thought that those are worth sharing. So the first idea we came up with was how can we help citizen scientist data be more credible. So basically, the big issue with citizen scientist data is that it's not as credible as the data collected from labs or professional or specialists. So obviously, it will never be, unless they are professionals, of course. But if we could just improve the quality of that data, then we may be able to make better decisions using that data. So what we looked at is what's already being implemented by organizations such as Earth Watchers and many other organizations supporting citizen scientist data. And we wanted to improve the quality while maintaining the simplicity of the data, of collecting that data by citizen scientists, because if it gets more complicated, many people will be discouraged and will just not collect data, or will not do the process that we are trying to implement and just do it the way they want, basically. And so, I hope that the next slide is not about the next idea. Okay. Yeah, I should have pressed that earlier. Those are Earthwatch. They help citizen scientists. They provide them with kits, with online training, and they're not only in the UK. They work worldwide, basically, and many other organizations. ArcGIS Survey 123 is the platform that is used to collect the data from citizen scientists. To be honest, when I looked at that, I was like, this is horrible, to be honest. Because it's a simple survey, and it's like I could do it in Google Forms, and I believe that there was better ways, but I don't know what I'm actually thinking about right now. We should have worked on that. Because we didn't. We moved, I think, to the next idea, I believe. Yeah. Okay. It was a huge mistake changing the idea. Why? Because we've worked on this idea for an entire day on Friday, and then most of the time yesterday. And to be honest, the skills in my team, we did like skill matrix thing, so to check what are the skills that is in our team and what are we good at. And it wasn't really promising, except in the research part. So we were like, this is going to take time. So it was a time thing that we needed. But by changing the idea, we limited the time that we had, and evidently we couldn't be able to basically provide as much as we wanted. So the ADHD kicked in. Oh, it's touch screen, wow. Yeah, when I said quantity over, by the way, I wrote this just 5 minutes ago or something. So quantity over quality is sometimes a good thing, because if you want to ensure high quality, you wouldn't have as much data points on the map. So the good thing about citizen data is that there are so many samples collected from everywhere. So that is needed alongside, obviously, samples that are collected from labs or by professionals. Yeah, okay. Let me read. What did we want to do? Yeah, so basically, we wanted to gather all the data and the historic data and like all of the events that happened throughout like the past 10 years or something, if we managed to find the data, of course, and see what could have affected certain things, what could have increased bills. So urban development, is it agricultural changes, whatsoever. Well, that was, as I mentioned earlier, when when I talk about the skill set, that was a very huge. This will require more skills and more time. So that's why I said, yeah, no time and lack of knowledge on how to do it. But it's an idea, so that's why I'm putting it there.
Well, this one was left blank on purpose, actually. Because we have lost the evidence that we supposed to provide yesterday. When we were looking at Northumbrian water dataset on ArcGIS yesterday, we have managed to find that there was slightly an issue in terms of mislocation of few samples that's supposed to be at a water service location, but was completely different, was on a ground service. So when we reported that to you guys, you provided us that it was actually located in the lab when it's supposed to be located at a water service. So we wanted to take a screenshot today to provide as an evidence, but it seems that it's been already fixed.
What happens when you report mistake?
I mean, good work, guys.
Where was the location? Was it Horden Lab?
Yeah, I have to check my history again to know where did I say it last time. But it was a lab. It was a lab, and there was so many samples. Like just pointing.
No
over.
pictures. It didn't have.
I think I have one. Well, I just found it.
Well done.
I don't know that I can track it.
Do you have it?
I can see where the problem might have happened.
I know I didn't pick it. I was taking a video yesterday.
I guess because we have told you first.
So the final idea was, if there's spills in water, then what if we manage to find other ways to use that water? Well, we didn't. I mean, this idea has been implemented by other teams, as I've seen, like with the roof service thing, using that water in houses. We were trying to come up with an idea ourselves, and we thought of cooling. So what I mean by that is cooling data centers. So yeah, the first part is by ChatGPT, by the way. I have no idea if it's true or not, but basically is that an average the oil spills, I think you guys can confirm it, is 264,000 gallons every time there is a spill. That's the average. It could increase, it could decrease. I'm not sure if that's correct.
Is that in Northumbria?
In the UK.
So UK wide, over
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's per spill or the UK wide.
Yeah.
I'll have to check on that. The average data center requires approximately around 300,000 gallons of water if it uses water cooling to cool the servers and computers. And the quality of that data, usually data centers use water coming from the water company, which is very clean, which they don't really need to cool their servers. So if you could use that the rainwater and any big plant, big space, we could use that water then to cool the data centers. So our question is, what is the best place to build data centers which could help the reduction of the spills in that area? And that's the $1 million question. We are down $1 million. We wanted to do a study that studies areas where there are high population, high rain, high spill rate, and high surface areas, like big surface areas, and then build the data centers there. But yeah, we ended up doing a lot of research in a very short period of time when we were already tired, and I think the team just gave up on that one. So yeah, in summary, what I just presented was just ideas, nothing to work with so far. But we learned so much from the hackathon, whether if it's personal, like what we need to work with in the future. So I know that this experience is my first experience and my team's first experience in a hackathon, and I will be participating in future ones, hopefully not with this performance. Yeah, it was very helpful working with you guys, and I guess we learned a lot from you. So.
Can I just say, well done for standing up when you didn't
have a solid idea that you were going to do, so that was great.
Well, I actually came up with the tool when I was talking. So if you guys are interested. But no, that's, yeah, we were hoping to do more, but yeah, I guess.
You've learned a lot of skills by keeping going till the end. So well
Never
done.
give up.
Thank you very much.
Sounds like you tried to do.
I don't think anyone will have a question, but if there is any, well,
Cooling the data center was really interesting actually. So I was chatting to some folks who were saying that Microsoft was looking at putting some data centers underwater off the Gulf.
That's right,
Put
yeah.
them in.
Oh.
But then that affects the sort of ecosystem of water. Yeah, because it changes the currents and the heat and everything else as well. So actually this sounds like a much better idea than sticking them in the
I think
ocean.
that's a high risk too. If there was a water leakage,
Do you know
underwater.
we've
Yeah.
got a lot of water under Northumbria that we can't use because it's in the old coal sea?
Oh, really?
There's a lot of it and it affects the water table that goes up a lot. The trouble is when you bring it up, it's warm, not cold. It goes 20 Celsius.
Did you have a question?
I'm just saying.
Are you sure? It's okay.
That potential. And it stops spills.
I do think that the whole data centre thing does have some legs because one of the key things that when the government published their industrial strategy for the UK, they were talking about energy as a constraint and needing to sort of tackle that. But actually water is probably the bigger constraint and it was completely missed. And the AI strategy also missed the point about like needing water to cool data centres. So I do think it's...
So much so our CIO is talking about air cooling them instead.
And also the
You have a
carbon
question?
footprint of data centers is so high, yet it's not something that
It's like among yourselves.
Yeah.
What's your question?
With the data centers,
Yeah.
did he bring in new water or did he recycle the water?
They recycle the water, so that's why we were looking on large surface area that have a lot of rain, so we can recycle that rainwater because the water that you need to cool a data center doesn't have to be a tap water, it's just water. The quality of the water doesn't really affect the quality of the cooling at that point. So yeah, so no, not tap water because that wouldn't solve the issue. That water will go into the sewage system, and I think it's increase the issue, not decrease it. So,
But it would stop spills.
They have to use heat exchangers, haven't they, in some data centres to heat the local swimming pools. But the local swimming pools don't have to heat their own swimming pools, but the pool water. They're actually using heat exchangers to take the excess heat out of the cooling water and put it
So they keep people for free.
that's good information for me to keep right now. So.
It's a lot of data and it's a big problem. You need more than 2 days.
I think
to do it.
we took too big of a project for ourselves, and we didn't focus on one thing. We had so many ideas within our team. So yeah.
ideas are good.
They are, yeah, well said.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, and my questions.